Good morning, everybody. I'm Sandy Shook, and this is Coffee with Sandy. Listen to my show every Saturday morning at 9:30 on KRDO News Radio at 105.5 FM and 1240 AM. If you'd like to hear past shows, go to krdo.com and search for podcasts and listen to them all. If you want to be on the show and you're interested in being a sponsor, you can reach out to me by text at 719-339-9637. Coffee with Sandy promotes connections with business owners and entrepreneurs here in the Pikes Peak region. Why? Because their journey and story has changed lives. Their journey is important to share and should be heard. Our guests today are Mel Gorsuch, Matti Anderson, and Dr. Regina English. Hello and welcome. How are you doing this morning?
Fantastic. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So I am here with the three of you because you have an event that's coming up. Is it November?
Yes.
And this event is called the BU Beyond the Numbers Gala. Is that correct? I think I don't know if you're still working on the name of it or not, but it's a night of hope. And what is the date and location of that? Do we have that yet?
We actually do have the date, and it will be November 14th, which is World Diabetes Day. And the location will be at Pikes Peak State College. The one off Interquest is the Rampart.
Very cool. So how did the three of you come together, get connected with this?
Matti.
My mom met Miss Melissa, and then I met Miss Melissa, and then so I've known Miss Melissa for a few years, and then last year I met Miss Regina at the Mrs. Colorado pageant because my mom did the marquees there.
Oh yeah.
And then I told her that I was also part of the pageant, and then me and her made like a meeting to talk about stuff because I told her like what my platform was, and then that's when we came up with the idea for the gala.
Yes, and so Matti, you are living with type 1 diabetes.
Yes.
So with somebody living with type 1 diabetes, since you were 11, wow.
5 years on the 27th.
Well, you're so young.
Yes. But she's amazing.
And I think it's awesome that now that's your platform that you're walking under and educating people about that, right? What does it mean to you to be part of an event like the BU Beyond the Numbers?
It means a lot because I get to like raise money for type 1, but I'm also doing it because I want to do it and because I want to be able to show like other diabetics that they can still do things even with type 1, and even people who don't have type 1 who like think like you can't really do anything or like have all this kind of different foods and stuff. I'm also like showing a bunch of those people and like teaching them that like I still can do things and like I can still like do what I want. I just have to take a few extra steps with it.
So can you explain a little bit about what type 1 is like? I know somebody when I was growing up that when he was starting to act up in class, he would have to go to the principal's office. Not because he was getting into trouble, but because his sugar levels got low.
Yeah.
Is that type 1 or is that something different?
That is part of type 1. For like a non-diabetic, your guys' blood sugar is like in like the 70s and 80s. But if you do have type 1, we have to keep our numbers in like the 100s. And then like the 70s and 80s, that's like in range for you guys. But then for us, that's like considered low. And then like obviously for everybody, diabetic or not, just like 60s and lower, that's just low for everybody.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with Mel, Matti, and Dr. Regina. Okay. We're back. I'm Sandy Shook. This is Coffee with Sandy, heard every Saturday morning at 9:30 here on KRDO News Radio at 105.5 FM and 1240 AM. Our guest today is Mel Gorsuch, Matti Anderson, and Dr. Regina English. So, Mel, I would like to ask you, because you were on our radio last week talking about World of Heart.
Yes.
And I'm wondering what your connection is with all of this.
So, Matti, like she said, I met her mom through events, and I reached out when I started with World of Hearts and asked Ashley, hey, I'm doing a casino night, and you do these amazing balloon arches and things, and just incredible. I didn't even know about the marquees until that night. And so I reached out, told her what I was doing, told her my goal, told her everything behind it, and she donated her services, which was incredible because I had these beautiful balloon decorations and just things everywhere, but then they brought the marquees that light up and you can change colors, and they spelled out casino. And ever since then, I just love the family. Maddie's amazing. When I found out about everything she does and is going to do, and then she reached out to me to do a prom night fundraiser for CDF, and we had a blast, and you attended. And it truly was a perfect adult family fun prom night, and we can't wait to do it again. But that's how I got involved with everything for this, is Maddie, when she talked to Dr. Regina, she messaged me and said, I want you part of this. And I said, okay, I don't know what this is, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's so cool. So I did have something in here that the World Diabetes Day Gala, is that something that, Dr. Regina, you were involved in, or is this a combination of what you're doing in November?
So actually when Maddie and I met and she began to share her story and she told me she had type 1 diabetes, and I was like, my mom had type 2. And so we just started having a conversation, and she had mentioned that World Diabetes Day on the 14th. So I was like, hey, we should do a gala, because I'm always thinking of things to do. And where BU, Beyond the Numbers, came from is my nonprofit for young people is called BU. And Beyond the Numbers, obviously, is associated with diabetes. So we kind of just came together and collaborated. And any opportunity I can use my platform to allow young people to utilize their voices and show their talents and just to share their stories, that's what I'm here for. So that's how me and Maddie made the connection at Mrs. Colorado. I'm Mrs. El Paso County 2026. She's Mrs. El Paso. Yeah, so we kind of just connected. That's what pageant sisters do. So here we are.
And I think that's awesome. I know that is, it's like your own little family within a family. And I think it's great when everybody can come together and help each other out. So,
for sure.
Yeah. So what is it that you wish that people, and I believe this is a question for Maddie, but both of you guys can actually answer this, I'm certain, especially if your mom has gone through type 2. What is it that you wish more people understood about what it's really like to live with type 1 diabetes?
I wish that people understood more about how just because I have to dose for things and do what my pancreas can't do, doesn't mean that I can't still eat stuff or go out and do things and stuff, because when I was first diagnosed, and every now and then still I get asked a million questions about it.
And I'm going to ask more.
It's it's at school, I'll have people constantly being can you eat that? I'm
oh.
Yes, I can eat it.
Well, that's somebody who's on, a diet. It's really, should you be eating that? That's probably what you run into all the time then, too.
Yeah, sometimes. Or I'll be in the grocery store, and my parents will be like, did you correct your high, or did you treat your low? And then I'm like, yes, I did. And then these people just give me these weird looks, and I'm like, no, that's not what's happening. And I don't do that. It is something completely different. Thank you. You don't need to look at me. You can look away now.
So you have actually learned how to grow thick skin then, just because from an early age.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like before you discovered that you had diabetes?
Before I got diagnosed, I didn't even know what diabetes was. I've never heard of it before either. So when I got diagnosed with it, it was extremely new for me, because I've never heard of it, and I didn't understand any of it. And then after getting out of the hospital and going to the Barbara Davis Center and stuff, they explained it to me, and then told me how I can still do dance and eat whatever I want still. And then after that, I started finding ways to help raise money for type 1 and raise awareness for it, and being able to host events and still do dance. And I found that it's a lot easier. As long as you aren't accepting, as long as you accept that you have it and let it become part of who you are, it makes it a lot easier to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not letting it, like, control your entire life, but,
Yeah.
like, letting it become, like, this, like, a little chunk of who you are.
Well, and because it happened when you were 11, that's like almost middle school, right? Or is it in middle school?
I was in 5th grade, yeah.
Oh. That, I admire you for pushing
Absolutely.
forward and actually making this not stop you from being who you were meant to be. So, and I think it's great that you actually reached out to Dr. Regina too for help, and for awareness, to bring the awareness to everybody.
Absolutely, and it's important, and it's encouraging as well, because we have a family history of diabetes in our family. My mom is no longer with us. She passed in 2024, but she had type 2, and she had to actually give herself the insulin shot, and she's had it for years. And when she initially got it, she was like, "Hey, now everybody has to learn how to give me a shot." And I'm like, "Oh no, lady, I don't want any parts of that. Like, I don't even like needles. You're tripping." But I had to learn how to do that, right? And so it caused me to have to look through a different lens to make sure when my mom's sugar was dropping and she was kind of off, that I knew how to react, and people around her knew how to react. So when I did meet Matti, it was very important to me, and I was like, hey, we both have been impacted by this in a significant way, because it does attack some of your other organs, which had happened to my mom, because she had stage 3 kidney disease when she passed, and we didn't even know.
Wow.
She didn't tell us. I said, well, she that's what moms do, kind of keep things away. Yeah. But that made me even want to dig in even more deeper and really bring awareness and education and resources to people that are been impacted by this.
So. Wow, that's incredible. I admire everybody that's involved, especially now with the BU beyond the numbers. So
I don't have a family history of it.
You don't?
From what we know of, both my grandpa's had type 2. I am the first type 1 diabetic, and like our whole family history that we know of. Yeah, it is.
You're still
like,
smiling.
Hard though,
So.
because like whenever you do go like your numbers are going high and stuff, that is hurting like your body and like the organs in it and stuff. Like sometimes it can get bad, and like if like you're not taking like the proper care of it, and like just letting it be high and just like not thinking about it and stuff, then that does like affect your body more. And like you can feel it too most of the time. And then like lots of people end up losing like arms or like their foot or their legs, like just kind of anything.
Because
from, like,
they're not
because
maintaining.
of being high or like not maintaining it like correctly. And then like you like lots of times you can like control if you go a lot high or low. But then there are also times where it's like type 1 basically has a mind of its own. Like,
how do you control your numbers? I mean, I'm really curious about that, because so Dr. Regina mentioned, the insulin shots.
Yeah,
Do you get them too?
So I did shots when I was first diagnosed for the first few months, and then I got put onto the Omnipod, and it's like a tubeless thing that gives me my insulin. And then I also got the Dexcom, which reads my blood sugar. So that helps me like keep track of it and dose easier than having to do like all those pokes and use all those needles. Because I don't really like needles either. But it does get easier throughout time, sort of. There are days though where it's like I've had days where I've gone like into like the 200s, like almost to like a 300 almost, just by getting out of bed sometimes.
Wow.
And it's like I don't know what's causing it, because I could have eaten like nothing. And then I follow like a lot of these pages on my Instagram, and like they go through like the same stuff, and like all the videos are saying how like I just woke up and I'm already at like a 300 because I put my left foot on the ground before my right foot. And it's like diabetes has like these very weird things where it's like if you don't do something how it likes it to be done, it's just gonna make you go high or low nonstop.
Wow.
Yeah, it has like a whole mind of its own.
So do you have down days then because of this, or do you actually always look at positive and?
Every now and then I do go through like a T1D burnout where I just don't want to dose or do anything. And that's like I dose, but then I don't want to eat it, or I'll want to eat it, but I don't want to dose for it, or I don't want to change the site.
And how do you get through that then? Do you, when your parents or anybody and your friends, family members, whatever, they want to control what you're doing. How do you get beyond that so that you don't get mad over?
I think of reasons why I should do it, and then I'm just like, okay, fine, I'm gonna get up and I'm just gonna get over with, and then move on with my day. I'm like, the quicker I get this over with, the quicker I don't have to think about it later.
Yeah, yeah.
But then there are some days where I'm like, but then again, I don't want to do it right now. And then I'll eventually always end up going back to the point where I'm like, okay, I'll just get it over with.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to point out last week when we were at Pikes Peak State, we were kind of doing a walkthrough talking about the event, and something was beeping, and I didn't know what was beeping, and then her mom, explained to me what was happening. And Matti doesn't know this, but I had my granddaughter with me. She just went back to Nebraska. But when I got home, I was like, I was just with Matti, and she's such a strong young lady, even when she's not feeling good, and she just stood there like a trooper. And I'm just like, and I'd be so petty about little things, and you know what I'm saying? And here she is going through all the things, and I'm just like, you know what? It caused me to really have to reflect on some things.
Today our guests are Mel Gorsuch, Matti Anderson, and Dr. Regina English. So, I wanted to talk about this gala that you have coming up in November. If somebody listening today was wondering why they should attend or support the Be You Beyond the Numbers Gala, what would you want them to know? I don't know if Mel and Dr. Regina, I guess all three of you, if you want to give your little 2 cents.
Well, I would say more importantly, it is definitely about awareness and, education and resources, and what we can do as a collaborative, as a community, to really respond to this space and how we can help give back to people that are dealing with this. And secondly, it's going to be a red carpet affair, glitz and glam. There's going to be lots of pretty gowns. It's going to be like a high fashion runway show. So I'm excited about that, because that's my thing, because I happen to be your favorite fashionista. Yes. So I'm excited about that part. And I'll let them,
and it's all the pretty dresses and everything that the two of you have actually been able to participate in trying on and doing those things for the pageant system that you have the titles for now.
For sure. And it's going to be like, you want to add to it?
I have like 2 very good reasons. Number 1 is the food. I like the food. And the other more important reason besides the food is that there's also like a lot of people out there, because like whenever like I do like fundraisers, like I hosted a craft fair about 4 or 5 years ago, and we raised over $10,000 there, and I gave all of it to the Children's Diabetes Foundation, and they gave it all to like their research part, because they were able to like use that and help like find ways to use that money to help them find a cure. So I like finding ways to like help like give them enough money to help them continue the researching to find like the cures that they need. And then there's also like a lot of people out there though who are like, my mom has like all these Facebook groups that she follows, how like people are like choosing between getting dinner on the table and going grocery shopping, or getting the insulin and getting like the positive Dexcoms, because I have like, I'm on TRICARE and it's still like pretty expensive still. So like for someone who like isn't on TRICARE, that's like twice the amount, I'm pretty sure. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know it's like twice the amount, and it's like harder to buy stuff. And then it's like people are running low on supplies, and like at one point a couple years ago, I don't know how much insulin still is now, but like the jars are like extremely small, and it was like $85 a jar. So there was like a shortage like a year and a half ago. I don't know if there still is now or not, but it's like harder for like lots of people to be getting the supplies they need. And then like it's also hard because like there's also some people out there who are getting like Dexcoms and stuff when they don't need the Dexcoms. So then since they're getting the Dexcoms, that's like taking more of like the supplies to make it and giving it to more people. And when the people who have it don't actually need the Dexcoms, that's giving people who need it to like survive, that's giving us less to work with, and that's giving us less supplies, and then like taking like a lot out of like money and stuff, and then like having to worry about, am I gonna have enough to get me through the next like couple months or so, or like when can I get my next refill?
Right. Well, okay, so this is coming up in November, and I know that we're only in the month of August right now. I really felt it was a necessity for the three of you to come on the show to talk about it prior to the event. And I don't know, Mel, if you want to talk more about what it is that we're looking for to raise awareness for.
Yeah. So really what it is, I mean, there's so many ways to help. We had our first dive-in meeting, as Dr. Regina said, last week at Pikes Peak. We looked at the layout. We got the rundown of where we want things to go and what we're going to do. And I'm telling you, I've been looking forward to this. Since we spoke about it. It will be the event of the year. I mean, the decorations alone, what Maddie's mom has in store is just incredible.
Who came up with the fashion show?
That is Dr. Regina and Matti, because when Matti went to pageant, and we were going to go with a murder mystery dinner at first, but then Matti with pageant week, she got so excited, and people were so excited at pageant that they wanted to be involved as models. So I didn't know at the time Dr. Regina owned a boutique, and that's incredible. I don't know anything about fashion.
Where the runway is there.
Yeah.
But what's so cool is these two are collaborating, and I am lucky enough to be a part of it and to come in and help. But what they are going to do with this fashion show, and here's the kicker, and I think this is really fun because we did have to decide this. We're auctioning off the dresses.
Oh,
so the models, the
cool.
fancy dresses that they're going to walk that runway in, they're getting auctioned off. But even cooler than that, Matti and her mom had a great idea. We reached out to Children's Hospital, and they do a prom for the kids that are at Children's Hospital every year. So if you end up being the winner of one of those dresses and don't have a foundation or don't have a kid in need that needs it, those dresses are going to be donated to Children's Hospital after the gala. And so it's just a full circle, helping community, helping kids, and just getting it all out there. So who we're looking for is, I'm going to be honest, it's, do you want to come to the event of the year? Do you want to support kids? Do you want to support diabetes and kids with diabetes at that? Like, if this tugs at your heart at all, then you need to be there.
Sure. And it's going to be some pretty cool things happening throughout the evening, so you got to be there to see it. We're not going to tell you. You got to be there to see it.
So what role do the local businesses and community organizations play with supporting the event?
They can buy tables, they can make donations, whether they can attend or not. And for example, if they buy a table and they can't fill it, we can fill that table with people. We just really need them to donate, become a sponsor, because, we're going to have swag bags and all type of really cool things happening. So business can play a role in that way and give us some really cool swag. And I'm going to be, donating a couple dresses from my boutique. And so we can talk about that on another show. Yeah. Really cool place. So we're just excited, and I'm honored to be a part of this work and making the connection with Mel, and more importantly, making a connection with Matti, because my nonprofit is definitely a platform for empowering young people and sharing their stories in their own right. So I'm honored to be a part of this event.
That's so cool. Well, so what else is it that you want to share about this event? We've just got a few more minutes, and do you want to talk more about diabetes? What other people are not maybe aware of, the different stages, what signs to look for, especially in younger kids?
People have gotten diagnosed at birth. People have gotten diagnosed in their 60s. I know, like newborns, like the day they're born, they can be diagnosed with type 1. It can come later on in years. It can be a genetic thing. It doesn't have to be a genetic thing. Like, it doesn't matter, like, what age you're at, and, like, there's, like, nothing you can do to, like, prevent from getting it. You get it when you get it. But there are, like, I went into DKA when I was diagnosed, and, but I do know, though, that I had all the symptoms of DKA where, like, I was throwing up a lot. I couldn't get enough sleep. I needed the bathroom every 5 minutes. I ended up losing 10 pounds, but then I couldn't stop eating. And then, like, I was just constantly thirsty. And when I got my doctor's appointment the day I was diagnosed, the doctor opened the door and immediately had this giant, like, fruity scent just go right into her face.
Oh, wow.
So, like, they'll have, like, a fruity scent to them.
Yeah.
Like, they can't get enough sleep. Like, I'd end up, because, like, I just started school at the time, too. Like,
I know that what is a site that people can actually go to to learn more about diabetes?
So we don't have our sites active as of now.
For the gala.
For the gala.
Right? But for diabetes alone, is it?
my Instagram, I post a lot of stuff with diabetes on there. At, Madison _Sky. And then Sky has an E at the end, so it's MATTISON, the little underscore, and then SKYE.
Okay.
And then to learn about my organization is bu.org. BUonpurpose.org.
Thank the three of you very much for coming on to the show today. I know that the gala is going to be a perfect opportunity for you to raise more awareness for diabetes. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
Thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next Saturday at 9:30 a.m. at KRDO News Radio, 105.5 FM and 1240 a.m. I will have the coffee on.